Hi guys, welcome back to PBTV, and we have a very interesting video for you today. Some of you may have seen this platform before. We have had the Radian Model 1 from PTS in stock for a while, but this is a new variation. We have had the gas blowback one before. This is the ERG, so the electric recoil gun from PTS. So we're going to have a little deep dive into it, what's inside, what's changed, because the ERG system itself is not new, but this one is definitely a different beast. It has a MOSFET in it. Previous ones didn't. They have changed some features. There may be a little bit of an elephant in the room to talk about later, but all in all, this is an absolute beast of a platform. If you're looking for really heavy recoil and just a little bit of immersion, but you don't really want to go all the way to a gas blowback, this is probably my favorite feeling recoil system that is also extremely reliable on the field, really accurate, a lot of fun to shoot, and absolutely stunning to boot. So this is the Model 1, Radiant Model 1 from PTS. We're going to do our normal tip to butt and then delve inside and look at what the beating heart of this thing is. So on the front, as always, we have a standard birdcage flash hider. PTS completely understand that most people are going to swap this out for something else. So not really throwing something very impressive on there or something different. They keep it simple, so you can sort of change it out to one of maybe a dead air or something like that. They do an astronomical amount of accessories, so it's just one of them. Underneath there, you do have a 14mm counterclockwise thread, so all the standard accessories will fit on the front of it, and you can make this thing look absolutely stunning with very few extra little bits. Coming back, we have one of the first very unique parts of the PTS Radian. So the front rail. So if you have a closer look at the M-LOK system, you can see back here the mounting system is slightly different, but we do have M-LOK all the way across the left-hand side and the bottom and the right-hand side. So 3, 6, and 9 o'clock, and on the top we have standard RIS. It is slightly cut out in the middle. Again, a little bit of weight saving that is done on here because this thing is a beast of a platform. All in all, it is weighing in at about 3.3 kilos in its current dry form, so not loaded, no battery, no optics, no nothing. So this is a heavy platform, but beautiful front end, loads of space for accessories, plenty of M-LOK space, loads of RIS space on the top as well for pet boxes, mauls, all that really cool stuff. Coming to the receiver, another extremely unique part of the Radian. As you can see, all these angled cuts, and coming down here, we do have the Radian markings here, and almost like the PMAG style copying on the receiver. Loads of angled machining, beautifully made receiver, and all the controls on here. As you can see, we have the selector there. It is ambidextrous, so this is on both sides. We do have the bolt release and the mag release on this side. And flipping it over, you can see we have mag release, bolt release, and ambidextrous selector. One thing we will look at whilst we're here is if I remove the mag. This mag may look very familiar to people that have had an ERG before. So we have the extra long feed, so we are getting every single BB out, and there is a switch on the back. People that have learned or used ERGs before know that ERGs normally have a bolt lock system. So the elephant in the room with this platform is they've removed it. They've kept the switch and they've kept the mag, but this platform does not have a bolt lock system. This is because they've added an ETU. So I'll grab this across. So this is the instructions for the ETU. As you can look on here, we've got pre-cocking, burst mode, burst round count, trigger sensitivity, brushless motor settings, and equaliser settings. All controllable with various different trigger pulls. Very easy to do. Going through this was one of the most simple ETUs to set up because it's not over complex. It's not trying to do everything under the sun. It's just trying to do make the platform better. So again, burst settings, you can decide whether or not you want burst and then how many rounds. And again, you've got 3, 4, or 5 and a 2-round burst as well. So it's not just counting however many you want. It's just a preset amount, keeping it very simple. Brushless motor, so again, this is just adding to the fact that this has the option to be upgraded in the future. Has a standard motor in it now, but if you were to upgrade this thing, the gearbox is ready to accept a Gate Titan motor. So a lot of gearboxes may need some slight modifications. This one is ready to go with the gate MOSFETs. And then the MOSFET, if you're not wanting to do that and you're wanting to add a brushless motor to sort of beef up the rate of fire or do some extra bits with it, the ETU that's in it can accept them. There is also an equaliser setting at the end. It took us quite a while to work out what that was. Went through a lot of instructional videos and we found out that the equaliser mode is when you fire, it is how far the trigger has to come forward before it will fire again. So it's setting the reset. You can set trigger sensitivity of how far you have to pull the trigger, but then the equaliser is how far the trigger has to come forward before you can pull it again and fire. Again, if you're looking for that very fast semi-auto, really, really useful. You can set a really high trigger sensitivity and put the equaliser on so you can just wobble that trigger in pretty much any position and it will keep firing. Again, there is, I don't know whether or not, we will double check afterwards and I'll put a comment down below. I forgot to check whether or not this is lockable to semi, because out the box, this thing is knocking very close to 350 FPS. Close enough that with it being a recoil, there is a distinct chance if you have no hop set, that this could dual creep. So once you've got your hop set, it is quite comfortably like a few FPS down, but with it being a recoil, there's a lot of weight pushing that piston forward. It will jettison that BB downrange, so there is a distinct chance that dual creep could be an issue with this system. Coming back, we have the very common Radian charging handle, and we do have a rotary hop. The hop is attached to a 6.08mm barrel, and it's about 633 mil in length. So again, if you're looking to upgrade, it's one of the things you might want to look at is a tight ball barrel, but again, with this thing being so close to 350 FPS, adding a tight ball will most likely take this thing over the limit with it being quite a long barrel. So you may need to change the spring. We do have the PTS Stock, and again, it is not really possible to change the back end of this thing. Some people really like PDW stocks. As you can see, there is wiring coming down here, so if we drop it down below, you can see wiring coming under the stock tube here. This is because the batteries have to go in the stock. There is no space in this stock tube whatsoever. That's where the recoil system is. So it is quite convenient with the EPS. Pushing this forward, there are two pinch points there, pulling that off, and you will find in here a Dean's connector. Again, it's becoming more and more common. Many years ago, Dean's connectors were considered an upgrade. They are now the standard. Again, we've looked at controls, and we also have a few sling points as well. There's some on the stock. If you're wanting to two-point this thing, you will have to add something to the rail. Overall, very, very impressed with this thing. We are going to take it up to the range and show you what it's like actually throwing rounds through it, because we can talk about this thing all the time, but its main show-off point is the fact that this is a recoil system, so you're going to want to see that recoil, and I've boasted about it enough. So if we trick this thing up with maybe a few little bits, take it up to the range and put some rounds down there. Hi guys, so we're up on the range. We've thrown some accessories on here. We've got the new Gen 2 Haster Nebula Mist Tracer, some optics. We've loaded it up with some Tracer BBs, and we're just going to throw some rounds down range. We have chronoed this one, and this one is sitting around that 330 mark. We have tested another few that are quite close to 350, so make sure you are chronoing these before you're putting BBs in them and sending them to a site. But this thing really does kick. And as you can see, it did still keep shooting because this model does not have a bolt lock. So let's go down and have a little debrief. Well, that was a lot of fun. Thoroughly enjoy shooting this thing. Sometimes my job is a little bit too much fun. We have done a few checks on the settings and things like that for some people that may be curious, as we've set this thing up as quite a bit of a beast of a platform. You can electrically lock this to semi. So the burst mode function is what sets the full auto setting on your selector switch. You can have full auto, burst, or single shot, and then if it is in burst, use the next setting to change how many many rounds it is. We also have had a look at some of the PTS accessories, and it is a common thing that with a single sling point at the back, it can be a bit awkward, but you can get PTS M-Lock QD points for slings to go on the front rail. So really, really convenient. Means that you can 2-point this thing, lugging this around upstairs. It is a weighty monster, but absolutely hilarious to shoot. I think a few members of staff did sneak up and want to have a go as we were filming, and they thoroughly enjoyed it as well. So if you want to grab yourself a PTS Radian Model 1 ERG model instead of the gas blowback, this is an incredible platform. Just please remember, it does not have that bolt lock system, purely because they are wanting to put all the settings in for the MOSFET, and it must not have been possible to combine the two. So that is all for today. Thank you very much for watching, as always, and we'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.